Old Bloke Goes to Las Palmas, Part 3. So the sun is still shining, and today's a bit of a biggie, because Old Bloke is going to go salsa dancing. Something I've never done in my puff. I didn't have much of a choice in this one, but I'll give it a try. Meanwhile, my better half's reading a book about Corfu, and what they used to do with the old folks. Back in the day, she says, when families got a bit sick of waiting bums and doctor's bills, they would carry their more da up the mountain in a basket and then throw them off. Hence the expression, a basket case. Jeez, I can see that coming back into fashion, just when I become a really old bloke. A burden in society and all that kind of stuff, you know. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure this is an actual fact, but it's kind of fun. So, it looks as though the salsa might be cancelled. You know, lying on the beach, we get a wee phone call, which is a shame, because I was really looking forward to make a complete prat of myself on the beach in front of half the city. Ah well, fingers crossed. So my better half's looking out over the ocean, and she says, it's time for a swim. It's November, a reminder. Aye, but it's warm. Yeah, well, in a minute, I protest. I watched the other bathers for signs of hypothermia or sudden cardiac arrest, but the only thing I notice is loads of middle-aged women going in and up their belly buttons and then coming back into the shore again. Look, it must be cold, I say. No, don't be daft, says my better half. I'm just having a Lillian dish. Well, I'm not going in that bit, I reply. I try to work out the dilution and dispersal factors, but my better half just laughs off the dodgy stats and walks towards the chilly waves. The dilution stats are as follows, just in case you're interested. So, the Atlantic Ocean is 356 million cubic kilometres. Okay, that's a lot. And the average P, the average wee, is about 300 to 400 millilitres. You divide one into the other and basically you don't have to worry. So, joy of joys, the instructor, that is the salsa instructor, has text to say that we're still good to go. Jings, fair enough, ski. Not my thing, but my better half insists at least I try. I'll blame Strictly Come Dancing, a non-negotiable Saturday night watch. Ah well, maybe that's how I get so many gigs in the books, eh? So, we walk the 2 miles to our rendezvous point with Eduardo and realise we haven't got any water. He told us to bring water. I don't know why, but he did. So, with the help of 3 old Spanish ladies, I work out one of those dispensing machines and grab a wee bottle before we meet up. So, knackered before we even start, Eduardo turns out to be an Italian stallion with a ghetto blaster. But it's soon obvious he's a nice guy. We go down to the seafront and dance beside the waves. Ah well, whatever rocks your boat, I whisper. But my better half gives me a swift kick to the shin. Shh, she says, don't embarrass me now. Limping onward, we stop under these big spotlights, and he begins our first salsa lesson. Salsa, of course, means sauce, and I wish I was in the sauce, as a wee crowd begins to gather. He's in front of us, and explains that we'll be learning Cuba-style salsa. The original version, he says, although he explains there are a few other versions too, including New York salsa. Anyway, we watch and copy as they go through 4 basic steps and 2 turns. To me it feels like, I don't know, it's a 4-step thing, but apparently we're doing 3 steps to every 4 beats. I'm confused already. There's a forward and back thing too, and a side thing, and a Cuban twisty step, and a stand on the spot thing where you can revolve round. Soon I'm ignoring the onlookers and trying to get my brain into gear on my feet. I know I must look like a steaky old git, you know, like an old dad dancer, but I try to copy his sexy swivel while keeping time. When he puts the music on and we start to combine all the steps, I have a few car crashes, but then I stop and get back into it again. My better half can't stop giggling and says I'm too serious. Ah well, I reply, I'm just trying to not go up my Nelly. Then he shows us how to dance as a pair, where I, for once in my life, lead. Aha, now I'm liking this. A quick flick of my fingers, and a block, and then I decide which step we take next or where we go. My better half is in complete fluster. Yes, this is fun, I'm starting to realise. However, just as I get into full dirty dancing mode, a full African drumming band gets going about 20 feet away, and we have to retreat up into the main square, under the big posh amphitheatre. Oh no, there's people start to gather round. And I soon realise why we need that water. It's knackering, this stuff. Salsa can vary. Beats per minute wise, the speed of the thing, it can be between 150 beats per minute and 250. So quite a bit of variation. Yeah, I'm talking like a bit of expert in that, no? Anyway, what's happening? Oh aye, just as we turn and twist away, our top half's leaning this way and that, he stops the music and says, "Now for the next dance." What? I think, was that not enough? So now he shows us the basic steps to the bachata, a slightly more loose dance that comes from the Dominican Republic apparently. Based on 7 steps and a tap, mostly there is, in my head, an 8-step format again, but anyway, we kind of master it, just about. Again, there's a basic forward thing, a back thing, 7 steps and a tap, as I said, with a pointy toe, a side step, the same, and a fancy side step where you tap out and then lean in before stepping out. Does that make sense? No, I'm confused too. Then there are the slow rotations and the turns. First individually and then as a couple. It's actually a bit like the Gay Gordons, I decide. But I don't tell Eduardo. I don't want to kind of spoil his thunder, Especially the spinny bit where you turn the lady. It's just like Gay Gordons. Then we're off again, freestyling. Using all the steps in whatever order I decide. Remember, I'm the boss here. At least for another 20 minutes. I always lead with my left, and my better half always follows with her right. I think I tried a few overly stupid solo turns, because Eduardo and my better half were decking themselves when I turned round. Ah well. So, I have to admit, I really enjoyed it. I haven't been taught a dance since Primary 7 Christie Park. Only a gap of 48 years. So then it's off to the Teppanyaki, where we definitely over-ordered. You know what a teppanyaki is? I'll tell you. It's a Japanese restaurant where they've got a big metal table, and the chef comes in with his fancy hat, lays all the ingredients down the table, that's all, they're all raw bits and prawns or steak or chicken, whatever you pick, and then he cooks it on front of you, with the oil and the garlic and the rice, and he chops wee bits of egg up and flicks them into your hat. Sometimes he put a hat on you, or they give you something to catch them in, and they flicks them about 10 feet into your lap, and you got to catch them, or catch them in your mouth, or it's kind of a bit of a show. I love it. Anyway, fresh, tasty and amazing. That's what I call a good meal out, and a bit of a show, as I said, at the same time. Something you couldn't do at home, at least without the fire brigade standing by. Ah well, so we stagger the 2 miles home, through the back streets, arguing about directions, just like old times. Wouldn't you have it any other way? Or would I? I remember one time, again, here in Las Palmas, when we argued about the position of the mountains in relation to the city. "They're to the south," I said. No, said my better half. "They're to the north." "No, I think you'll find those mountains are to the south. Just like the airport," a reminder. "No, north," she demands, her face hardening. Well, even after showing a relation of the sun to the east and west in the northern hemisphere, getting a map out and a compass, the works, it's still a flat. "No, those mountains are north." It was like arguing that the world was round with somebody in 1402 who was convinced it was flat. "Oh, the oceans would slip off the face of the planet. People would slide off the world if they got too close to the equator," they would demand. "The world is flat, and that is that." You could explain all about gravity and shit, all you liked, but they just shake their heads and look as if you're an idiot, point at you, and most likely burn you at the stake. Which is pretty much what happened to me. I was banished to a different hotel room for 2 days with the boys, while my better half holed up with the lassies down the corridor. Eventually there was a truce, but only after me and the boys found a white talking monkey that said, "I love you," when you press its tummy. Ah well, life is crazy, mad, mental and manic at times. You bet, but you know something? It's never boring. So, tomorrow, we're off to that special restaurant, rated as number 1 in the Canaries. Don't tell my better half, but I think it's south of here. Well, remember, Old Bloke Goes Running, the book, is available most places. If anybody's listening, thanks a lot. Till next time, ciao for now.